Good morning children and welcome to English class. Today I'll teach you a poem from your Behave book. The name of the poem is The Road Not Taken. Before explaining the poem, let me give you the introduction of the poem. Children, in this poem, the road symbolizes our life. The choice which we make decides our future. The poet wants to convey the important message that the choice that we make has an impact on our future life. And if we make a wrong choice, we can only regret but cannot go back. So, we must be wise while making choices. With this background, now let's read the poem. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both, and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Let's see the difficult word meaning first. Here, diverged means separated and took a different direction. Yellow wood means a forest with decomposing leaves. Undergrowth means dense growth of plants and bushes. Here, the poet says that he was walking down a road and saw a diversion as there were two different roads. The poet says as he was one person, he could not travel on both the road, but he has to select one out of two. The poet kept standing there and looking at the path as far as possible. He was in dilemma. Same thing, children, happens in our life also when we have choice. But we have to take proper decision so that later on we should not feel sorry for what we have decided. Now let's move ahead and read the second stanza. Then took the other just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same. Let's see the difficult word meaning first. Fair means as good as the other one. Claim means better option. Grassy means unused. Wanted wear means had not been used. Children, here the poet is confused, but anyhow he decided one path and started walking on it as he felt that both paths were equally good. The path he selected was unused by the people, that is why it was grassy. After he walked on the path for some distance, he realized that both the roads had been worn out the same way. Children, same way in our life, if we take any path, we have to face the challenges, the troubles, the difficulties that comes on the way. So we have to be brave enough to face all the difficulties, all the problems that comes in our life. Now let's see what the poet is saying in the third stanza. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. Here, in this stanza, the poet says that both the paths were similar. Both the paths had leaves on them, and no one had stepped on them as they were still green in color. The poet decided that he will take one path and keep the other path for another day, although he knew that he could not go back on the path he left for another day. Similarly, children, in our life, once we choose an option, we must keep on moving ahead with that option, and we never get a chance to go back and take the other option that we had left earlier. Now let's move ahead and read the last stanza of the poem. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere, ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. Let us discuss the difficult word meaning first. Sigh means deep breath. Hence means in the future. The poet further says that in future he will take a deep breath and say that once upon a time he had reached such a path where he had to select one path, as he could not travel on both at the same time. He chose one path which was unused by the people, and that decision of his decided his future. Similarly, in future, when you grow up, then you will say that once upon a time when you were young, you had two options. The choice that you made earlier shows what you are in your present life. Children, through this poem, the poet wants to give a message that you should be wise and be careful while making choices out of the options that you have in your life, because your future depends on the choice that you make today. With this, we come to an end of the poem. Hope you all have understood the poem well. Thank you for watching.